don't.
Yes, because he's a fucking zombie. He's lost his humanity a long time ago.
Yeah,
right?
but he was once. I realized that he was once a child before a hurt child or whatever.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's lost his humanity. Again, just even the zombie still likes certain human comfort. That doesn't mean she's not a zombie. You gotta know when to let people go energetically. You know what I'm trying to say? Once you're able to let them go energetically, then you can kind of let them. Then letting them go physically is not as hard. You know what I'm trying to say? But again, this is me. I'm a very strong individual. Do you know how I got that? By making sacrifices. By sacrificing my humanity for my godhood. For questions, comments, and to show your support, visit us on the web at afroempath.com. Like I say things that are truthful that I think that people come to me because they're around people that are like yes men. You know what I'm trying to say? That just kind of agree whatever they. You know what I'm trying to say? That'll
yeah.
Like somebody who loves you is not going to let that false side of you win. It's not going to. You know what I'm trying to say? Someone that loves you is going to fight for the truth. You know what I'm trying to say? That truth is within you. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like I out of compassion and love for her, I wasn't gonna let her human experience overcome her peace, which is, again, like I said, which is her right. Like, you have a right to peace. So she lived in an environment where she never had a man to fight for her. You know what I'm trying to say? Her dad abandoned her. You know what I'm trying to
say? Yeah.
So she needed a man to fight, whether she knew it or not. She needed a man that would fight for her. So I was glad to be that for her.
That's so important. That's for everybody. Like a lot of females need that. They need that. Like my daughter is lucky. She had that. Her dad was always there for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still there for her now. If she, daddy, I need this, or daddy, can I use your car? She has that. And I always tell her to cherish that, because she is very, very lucky to have, even though he's not perfect, but he's always there for her.
Mm-hmm.
So she's used to having that daddy there. But when you don't have that, you can't really call on you whether your dad isn't gone, or sometimes your dad is still alive, but you still can't really. Like I called my parents' house yesterday to talk to my mom, and my dad answered the phone, and he just brushed me off the phone. Like,
they're still together?
Yeah, they're still together. My mom dealt with it. She put up with it.
Now, I've got to assume that if your father was abusive to you and your sister, he was abusive to his wife, no?
Maybe when we weren't around.
Yeah.
There was only one time that I saw him get mad and knock something out of her hand, and she ran to her room crying, and I ran after her, and I was trying to, I was little, and I was trying to
comfort her.
Don't worry. Yeah.
Fuck that.
But that was the only time that I ever saw him do that. But he never physically, but he would verbally oh, you're stupid, or you're
But she's afraid of him.
She was scared of him the whole time.
What the fuck? I mean, honestly, oh my gosh, he's lucky to not have me. If I was born in his family, I would have whooped his fucking ass when I got older.
Well, my brother fought him, and my mom had to I wasn't there, but apparently they got into a fight because he was always saying negative things to my brother. And
yeah, he's a fucking bully.
My brother stood up, and then they fought, and my poor mom had to go and break it up. And now to this day, they don't talk. But my brother is bold. He'll come over there once a week for food and to see my mom, and my dad will be right there. My dad will just go in and they won't talk. And it makes me sad because my brother needs that fatherly guidance. He's always needed it, and he never got it.
He's not going to get it from that. That guy doesn't have within him to give it.
No, he doesn't. And it's sad because just picture me at Christmas time there, and my brother's there. My brother and my dad don't talk. I don't really talk to my dad, but we're all sitting there
that's boring. Ridiculous. Just fuck it. Just fucking abandon his stupid ass and have fun by yourselves. Dude, fuck that. He abandoned you.
My mom, though,
Well, tell her scared ass to get up and fucking come with you guys and leave his stupid ass by himself. right?
She would have left him years ago.
He shouldn't have the luxury to he shouldn't have the luxury to even have the fantasy of family love when he obviously didn't care enough because he broke it up within the household all his entire fucking life, ruining childhoods to and fro. So you guys are putting on some fucking show. Essentially, that's not love. Basically. It's a show. Yeah. It's a fucking front.
I still give him gifts. I still buy him gifts.
Why? Out of obligation? Again, what are you here to do? What is your purpose on earth? What two things? What are those two things that you're here to do on earth? Your only two responsibilities on earth. Well, I shouldn't say if you have a child, then I guess that's a third, but even then, I guess technically, if you want to really, really advance, you still only have two. But go ahead.
But my purpose on earth is to rise. I guess to live out this thing and rise above it, rise to the next level.
And how do you do that? Through knowing yourself. Through knowing yourself, and through knowing your creator, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you only have two things to do.
Okay.
So the point I'm trying to make is, again, what you're doing, right? By what is it? What would you say? What would you call that? Giving a gift to somebody that you really don't care for? You know what I'm trying to say? You're doing it out of obligation and not out of love. You know what I'm trying to say? Meaning that, so you're not being your true authentic self, are you? Do you feel like you're being your authentic self?
I don't want him to feel.
It's not about wanting him to feel. Fuck that. He doesn't feel. If he felt, he wouldn't have fucking abused his daughters, right? He wouldn't have been verbally abusive to his wife and probably abusive to his son too. You know what I'm trying to say?
Oh.
He doesn't feel. He's a you know what I'm trying to say? He doesn't feel. He's completely demoned out. You know what I'm trying to say? He doesn't have a soul on earth. He's a fucking zombie. And you ever watched The Walking Dead?
Oh yeah.
Do you know why you like that show? Because what happens, what it shows is that when you lose your humanity, you know what I'm trying to say, you become a fucking zombie. And so I remember there's one character, his name's the governor or some shit. He had this daughter.
I hate him.
He had this daughter, and he kind of kept this daughter hidden. Who's a zombie. He kept this daughter hidden from everybody. You know what I'm trying to say? Nobody knew he had this daughter. And I remember one scene, he just kind of combing her hair, combing her hair, and she could tell, even though she's a zombie, she still liked it. She still had some human things left in her. You know what I'm saying? And he combed it, and all of a sudden, like the hair kind of came off, and it took out skin from her scalp. And she's like,
that was gross.
And she's like trying to bite him, and kill him. That's kind of like you. That's kind of like you with your father. You know what I'm trying to say?
No, don't.
Yes, because he's a fucking zombie. He's lost his humanity a long time ago.
Yeah,
right?
But he was once. I realized that he was once a child before a hurt child or whatever.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's lost his humanity. Again, just even the zombie still likes certain human comfort. That doesn't mean she's not a zombie. You gotta know when to let people go energetically. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm trying to say? And once you're able to let them go energetically, then you can kind of let them. Then letting them go physically is not as hard. You know what I'm trying to say? But again, this is me. I'm a very strong individual. Do you know how I got that? By making sacrifices. You know what I'm trying to say? By sacrificing my humanity for my godhood. Now, you're saying you're a goddess? Well, that sounds good. That's a nice little term. But are you willing to do what it takes? You know what I'm trying to say? And that means stop giving your energy to those whose mission is not the same as yours. Your father's mission is not to fucking rise above humanity. Right? No. Your father's mission is not to end this world. You know what I'm trying to say? So you're giving your energy to him and you're lending your energy to him. That's making you weaker. That means that you're letting evil enter you by having compassion for those who don't have compassion for themselves or for you.
Oh God. And it's his birthday coming up too, like next week.
Good. Don't give him anything. That'll allow you to grieve. That's the grieving you should have done earlier as a child. That you're still harboring that grief because you haven't dealt with it, because you keep feeding this narcissist fucking. You know what I'm trying to say? You keep feeding this narcissist, demonically possessed entity. You know what I'm trying to say? And you know it. You know that. You know you're wrong for what you're doing because you know that you don't really want to give it to him. Give him some present. You know that you really don't care. You know what I'm trying to say? But you're giving of yourself to somebody who's sucked life from your family and sucked life from you. Stop doing that and see what happens. Just try it. Try it for 1 year, yeah? Report back to me.
Oh, my mom keeps telling me that he's just been like dealing with a lot of pain and stuff like that. So it's like
Pain, physical
I kind
pain?
of feel physical pain.
Oh,
like
good. Well, guess what? He's old. That happens to old bodies. You know, it doesn't. You know, it's not about. Again, your mom is individual. You know what I'm trying to say? Your dad is individual, right? They made individual choices, right? She decided to compromise her physical body to live with a fucking demon, right? Your father chose to give into his demons and abuse his children. You know what I'm trying to say? The only choice you can make is your own. You know, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I'm going to be happy over here regardless. You know what I'm trying to say? But I know that my happiness has come through sacrificing those people in my life, at least on an energetic level, that have not been right to me. And guess what? Those are my subjects. Now, I don't say that to them. You know what I'm trying to say? But my mom knows that I am in control of. I'm in charge of her. You know what I'm trying to say? Energetically. You know, she's still my mom, and we still go through the you know, I still, you know, she tries to call me up sometimes. Hello, my son. You know, I'm like, my son, me, like, you know, you're not some fucking queen mother over here. You know, like she's ignorant as hell. You know what I'm trying to say? So, I mean, like, meaning that you can, once you begin to dictate, you know, your energy and your relationship, then they will finally begin to humble themselves because you're still feeding those zombies, those demons. You know what I'm trying to say? You don't have the strength that it takes to be the leader of the family. You know what I'm trying to say? You're allowing them to suck all the energy. Isn't that what they're doing? So,
well, I'm not as bad as I've let go a lot, but I have compassion over them because I know they're getting older, and my uncle was telling me to don't turn my back on my mom because of the way how he is, and so I don't go there often, but when I do go there, like holiday time, I used to have to take an Ativan to go there.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do that. That's you're putting drugs in your body for that. That's not good. Listen, you're having to compromise. You know it's true. You're having to compromise. You're having to compromise a part of yourself by being around those people, huh? Right? So, I mean, if you happen to take drugs, and you know what I'm trying to say, and not some natural drugs, that's some chemical bullshit, right? That's not good for your body. That's not good for your spirit, and that's not good for your soul, right? So you're having to compromise a part of yourself to be around him, and all he's doing is draining, right? So I mean, it's like, you know, at some point, you have by you keep giving people the signals that they're okay and that they're good people and that it's normal. You're not allowing them to go through the process that they need to go through of pain and introspection, and wisdom. Does that make sense? Not that complex. The shittiest people a lot of times have people around them. Right, and the best people are don't have a lot of friends. You know, the most enlightened people don't have a lot of friends for that reason, because they've taken the time to go through the process of pain because they cared, and then introspection, and then subsequent wisdom. And once you realize that you're in the world but not of it, you stop fucking around with worldly ass people, because you realize that you're not going to lend your energy to those who would steal it from you. You don't lend your energy to vampires. I don't give a fuck if it's your mother or your father. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it. So that's it's your life. You do what you want. You know, I'm gonna love you regardless. But I mean, you know, I don't. You know, again, I don't want to put. I can only put so much energy into someone who's taking their energy and pumping it out to people that suck from it. You know, and I see that with my mom all the time. She's always dealing with these fucking people that are energy suckers, and then she comes to me to fucking recharge. You know,
God. No, I wouldn't do that. I won't do that to you though. Like, I wouldn't do that to you.
I won't allow you to. I'll make sure that I'm putting your ass to work. I'm putting your ass to work. You know what I'm trying to say? So you serve a purpose in my life. You know what I'm trying to say? So as long as you're serving a purpose, because I'm not, you know, because I wouldn't have this to be a black woman vent. You know what I'm trying to say? Because if it was every black woman coming to me with her fucking human issues, I would be drained all the time. You know what I'm trying to say? So
yeah, those are things that I go through, but I don't really I don't care to talk about them all. Like, I would never come to you and tell you all the draining things that
I have no problem. I have no problem with that, you know. But the thing is that, again, I'm a man of principle, right? So how you feel about your dad is gonna change from one day to the next, yeah. Oh, Dad, you're sick. Oh, okay, I'll be compassionate. Oh, Dad, you're healthy. Okay, you don't need me. Oh, Dad, you're sick. Oh, okay, I'll be compassionate. Oh, Dad, you're an asshole again. You've always been an asshole. Oh, okay, you don't, you know what I'm saying?
I know. I went out of my way a couple months ago. I went out of my way and went and bought all this stuff from the health store
Yeah.
for him, because I'm kind of one of those people too that when somebody's suffering with some kind of ailment, my brain goes and tries to figure out what they need based on like on the mineral sense and stuff like that. So I understand what he's going through is probably emotional, but he can also ease it with certain minerals and he can do certain things at home. So I went in and bought all this stuff for him, and I bring it there, and he seemed like he was okay, like he was happy to get it. Like he doesn't really show much emotion, but he took it. And my mom is telling me that he doesn't even do it. He doesn't take the stuff. And now my mom is different. My mom is like into her like taking healthy stuff, and because she has diabetes, so she has to be on point. Whereas she said he doesn't do it. He doesn't do the things. Like he just sits there and suffers, like complains and suffers. So that kind of made me feel bad. But that's not the first time he's made me feel like bad. Like I go out of my way.
Not appreciated.
Yeah, not appreciated. Yeah. And I keep trying to get him. And he's like in his late 70s now. And I'm like, I don't know why I keep doing it. It's like I keep thinking that one day he's going to change, but he's not going to change. Like,
no shit. No shit. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. You know why he doesn't? He's not going to change, my dear. And this is, you have to understand. This is very, very hard, but very important for you to know. He's not going to change. It's like a no different from a drug addict intervention, right? They're not going to change. So far as they're not going to change so far as long as you enable them. You know what I'm trying to say? And you enable them by giving them shit, by giving them attention, by coming to the family gatherings, by making their way seem as if it's normal and acceptable when it's not. You know what I'm trying to say?
But he has so many kids, right? And nobody comes to visit him.
Good.
Like I'm the old, like.
Guess what? Does God not dwell in the potential of God not dwell within every heart of every human being, and and every creature?
Mm-hmm.
So can't he find that within himself? Does he need you for that?
And that's what pisses me off. Why he doesn't?
It doesn't have to piss you off. It doesn't have to piss you off. He doesn't reach for it because he doesn't have to, because he has your love and your support, and right, and you're a goddess, right? So that means he's sucking from you, right? Shit, you can give your energy to someone that can really benefit from it, All he's doing is draining you. Again, I had a sister on my Facebook group, but I really should join it. She asked me a question. She said something like, I'll pull it up here, but she said, how do you shield yourself, Because she said she works in retail, and she says, let's see here. She said, hell, I have a question. How do I shield myself? I am not sure how to do it at all, but it's really an important must for me, because when I go to work in a retail environment, all the spiritual progress I've made while at home seems to be overcome and overpowered by all the people / energies I encounter there. I've tried to imagine a bubble of light around me, imagining both and the energies and wind, etc., but it doesn't seem to work, at least not for very long. Any help would be greatly appreciated. Love and light. And so what I replied to her is, I said, and this kind of applies to you. I said, due to your compassion for others, which is a normal process at first, ultimately you need to learn to love out of principle or through the giving of knowledge, as we all have the power to cultivate the love of the eternal God within ourselves. And in terms of her energy, I said, and not to give your energy or your love or your auric fields, which come from your heart, to those, especially those whose mission is not your own, meaning earthly driven soul suckers. Assuming that assuming that your mission is to return to heaven and end this world, right? Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So if your mission is to end this world, you don't give your energy to those whose mission it is to keep themselves in this world going. I said your auric fields, or your love carrying energy, is outside of. I said it's currently outside of your body. You need to bring your auric field back into your own heart. I said obsidian and other protection stones can help refocus your attention back into your own emotional body and not the bodies or auric fields of others. Either way, you're still going to have to do some inner work and practice meditation and mindfulness. I said, have you read the Kabbalion? If not, study the law of rhythm, especially. Understand that your emotions are subject to that law. Unless through mindfulness, you become constantly aware of what you're taking on emotionally and what you already carry emotionally, that causes your emotional pendulum to be subject to the law of rhythm, the daily swing of negative and positive emotions. Once you've centered or magnetized that pendulum via meditation or mindfulness, your heart's electromagnetic fields will attract for you new situations in the dream or life, for you to cultivate even more stillness, peace, and power. But you first have to go inward and take a leap of faith. Then I have a quote from the Tao Te Ching. It says, "To the mind that is still, the whole universe surrenders." And from the Kabbalion, it says, all is mind, the universe is mental. But again, with your father, like once you stop allowing him to suck from you, from your energy, from your love, right? Stop giving him your attention. He'll be forced to deal with himself, but he doesn't have to right now because he's sucking off you. Does that make sense? So you're not doing him any favors. In fact, you're hurting him. You're hurting your father, right?
But this is the reason why he should have built me up. If he wanted to get energy from me, he should have built me up, and I would have been better as a human being, doing more things.
No. Your father became demonically possessed through not seeking God during a process of having to deal with white supremacy. Okay. So what you're thinking is your father, just like the governor thinking that the zombie is his daughter. It's not his daughter. His daughter's dead. The light that was his daughter is gone.
It's gone. I know.
The light that was your father is gone, my dear. What you're propping up is just a vessel. I am not my vessel. You're not your vessel. You've had thousands of vessels before, have you not? Right? And so hasn't your father, or what you're thinking is your father, right? So it's not the vessel that is the thing that you love. It's what's inside the vessel. And when what's inside the vessel is gone, and you keep and what's left is demonic entities, and you keep feeding those demonic entities, now you're empowering those demonic entities, and so the little light that was your father never has to be thought out and fought out. You know what I'm saying?
So where is he then? Where is he?
Where's your father? Like I said before, just because we all, when I say we all have souls, most people's souls are not actually down here. You know what I'm trying to say? Like our souls lie dormant, right? So that's like the sleeping Buddha. You know what I'm trying to say? Like we're not awakened. You know what I'm trying to say? Like just like Neo in the Matrix, right? Like this world's an illusion. So he's in the world and thinking that he is the body. Most people think that they are their bodies. You know what I'm trying to say? That's why they coon out and fag out, to white supremacy. You know what I'm trying to say? They don't realize that what they are is not their body, right? That's why they're fighting for rights and quote unquote rights and privileges in the world. So, your father, I put it, and I say you're loving your father, but really you're not realizing that what you're loving is just a vessel at this point. You know what I'm trying to say? You might every now and then you might see a little spark of potential, right?
Yeah.
But that's not for you to cultivate. That's for him to cultivate. It cannot be done. It's an individual process, right?
Yeah.
It's an individual process. No matter because I've had girlfriends and I've had people that have had low self-esteem or had low self-worth or been down, and I just tell them, just like you told your friend, how beautiful she was and you want to try to build her up. It cannot be done by you being compassionate for others. They have to do it themselves. One of the most important lessons I ever learned from the Moorish Science Temple of America was this simple quote: "Man knows not by being told." That's simple. People do not know by being told. So I could tell you you're beautiful. I could tell you I love you. I could tell you you're loved. I could tell you the truth of the universe. But until you figure it out within yourself, right? It's not going to make a difference in the way you do things, right? That's a process that they have to do. And so if you're giving them love, that doesn't force them to want to do it. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much it, Make it, stop giving him that energy, and then make him force to find it within himself, and so he can be himself, at some point before he dies, Yeah. And if he dies and and his spark doesn't come back, oh well, his spark's somewhere else beyond this world. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Ultimately, you need to refocus your energy on ending this world, and you can't do that when it's being sucked by him and others, right? That you're trying to build up as if it's possible. It's not possible. Stop, right? If you want to give your energy to somebody, lend your energy to someone that's actually doing the work. That's pretty much it. That's what I told the sister. I said, you don't lend your energy to those that are not on your path. You lend your energy to people that are here to destroy this world. That's it. Other than that, the rest of the fucking, the human drones, you let them fucking do their dumbass human shit because they didn't give a fuck to care and to know. If you or anyone you know would be interested in spiritual life coaching from a fellow empath of the African diaspora, email afroempath@gmail.com or visit us on the web at afroempath.com for more information.